Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. I'm sorry I'm running a little late. I had to wash my hands. Let's get this show started. Shout out to the NTZ crew.
It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground.
Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I see Jacob Tanjay right there. Benny H. Baby says, I'm going to be in the Philippines in a couple of weeks. It'll be an honor to meet you, man. It'll be my pleasure, brother. Come on and join the party. There's Kamal on here today. I don't see Beach of Life, but I'm pretty sure he's in the mix somewhere. All my old heads. What's up, Mitch? Thanks again for joining us early in the week. Any new viewers and subscribers? For the first time, welcome. What's up, Elliot? Anybody catching this on replay? Of course, we always got a topic. Today is the misuse of the word no in the Philippines. Or I could say saying no all the time is not a good strategy or a realistic one. And we'll talk about that. Of course, we got some more stuff that we always talk about. First, the peso is 56.81. We won't be discussing the Israeli Gaza Strip situation, guys. You know, let's stay away from that. We did have a brownout. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't be able to have my live stream today, but it came back on about 8:30. And brownouts are traumatic, man. I don't care what anybody says. You never get used to them. You just never get. I've been here on and off 14 years. It's like running at 100 miles an hour and then just stopping in your tracks, man. It's not something that you're gonna ever get used to. Another thing, I'm not going to pick on Deion Sanders, guys. Look, I was already trying to tell y'all that that's to be expected in major college football. It's hard to win at that level, hard to win consistently. I just didn't like that hype train and all of that, okay? But to think that he was going to blitz through college football, I'm sorry, the institution college football is bigger than any one person. I mean, you know, let me just set the record straight. The only thing, I love Deion Sanders. He's a Hall of Fame, one of my favorite players, but the only thing that kind of turned me off about the whole situation was the way he handled that first win. I mean, that's all it was. He says, yes, looks matter. He says, Cal, can you release your theme song in a loop video? I love it. I'm going to see what I can do on that. One Mike so focused said, hey, Cal, I love the Philippines. I would take a trip over there, but I got to do more research. There's plenty of game out there. Got to play it safe. Well, it's not that difficult. You know, remember, you know how much money you got in the bank, but you don't know how much time you got left. Just come over here. The best way to find out, man, is to get your feet wet. And yeah, I got guys in my comments trying to tell me what to talk about, what not to talk about. Look, guys, this is my channel. I'm gonna talk about what the fuck I want to talk about, okay? You don't see y'all on Howard Stern and Joe Rogan and all that telling them what to talk about, man. How arrogant of y'all. If you don't like it, just Keep scrolling, man. I'm sick of you childish ass, grown ass men over there. I don't even know what I did. It was under my video, my last live stream. I'm like, we're talking about 65 moving, starting over at 65 abroad. He said I was wrong for sending out that type of message. I don't know what he's talking about, but you get tired of it, man. Just keep going. And listen to that foolishness, you guys. Hey, he says Valencia. Yeah, I see where Kevin from Too Much Time on My Hands, he's back in the Philippines. Him and his girlfriend met him at the airport. That's the last video I saw. I came across a pretty interesting article. I will talk about this first. It says it's in a study by the University of, Indiana University. Sexual frequency is declining in the U.S. Okay, and it says it's consistent with studies done in the UK, Australia, Germany, and Japan. So I guess that's the reason why you see so many guys running out of those countries. In that same study, it says 1 in 3 18 to 24-year-old men reported no sexual activity in the past year. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. But I thought that would be. And something else, they always talk about the age of consent over here, right? But the age of consent in the UK is 16. In Greece and France, it's 15. In Germany, 14. Japan, it was 12. I think they're getting ready to raise that, though. I guess it was sort of like the Philippines had. Now there's a 16. He said, can we talk about Skin and Bones aspect left for dead? I don't know. I only watched a little bit of it before the live stream started. But you can go on there on Derek Q's channel and watch it. Sometimes, guys, you got to know when to say when. How long has he been over here? Remember, y'all think I just be on here yapping. I didn't even know about this video. Check on your family that's over here living their dream of what you think is living the dream. They're probably struggling over here. He's one of them. Derek Q's come up on several. Living abroad's come up on several. I'm not just yapping, man. People come over here and they dreams die. And sometimes they die right along with them. This is a case. This is one of the cases. Derek messaged me today. He said he's got the ticket to get him home. He's got a ticket for somebody to meet him at the airport. The problem is the overstay fee. He asked me, when is it? Well, you think they'll waive it? I said, I don't know. If the guy's in his 90s, the Philippines has some compassion, but I know the American guy who was falsely accused of rape and spent 5 years in jail here, they didn't waive his. Okay, but so I think if you want to go on his channel and help with that in some kind of way, find out how much it is. You want to help Derek Q to pay that. That would be, noble, but I don't know anything about it. I just did a video, a few days ago. Check on your people over here, man. Those expats are struggling over here, but we don't give a damn. We go straight to the woman. We don't want to hear nothing else. We'll forsake each other for these women over here. Y'all don't realize they're tightly knit, though. See, we're doing the opposite of what they're doing. I got my ideal for a community from Filipinos and Filipinos in the way that they bond together, not only here, but around the world. But what do, we come here, we forsake each other. I seen a guy the other day, I was just so mad. Guys get mad at me, but they want to take it out on Maryland. His girlfriend has a birthday party. They don't invite Maryland. I'm going to say it because you mad at my meet and greet. I invited her to the damn meet and greet. You mad at me for something I may have said on here, and you want to take it out on Maryland. Okay, That's how petty y'all are. But if something goes wrong, like this man on the accuser, it's going to be us that's going to save your ass. Okay? Y'all need to grow up. That's foolishness. Hey, Leonard, he says, I would like to know about the price for land in or around San Carlos. I don't know what he's saying. What's that? You have? For Valor Hermoso. Maybe buy a small lot anywhere from Valor Hermoso to San Carlos. Do you recommend a real estate agent? Well, not really. Because I don't really know real estate agents here. You know how we found this place over here, Leonard? Just put the word out that you're looking for a piece of land. And one of Maryland's friends said, hey, there's a nurse getting ready to move to the United States, has to sell their land really quick. But I've never dealt with a real estate agent over here. Now, if you're looking for a builder, yeah, grown men. Okay, I'm gonna put this. Wait. Let's see. Well, I'm getting ready to get rid of this guy. You know, you see, that's what I'm saying. See, grown men. You know, you got people like him. They don't have nothing else to do, Jacob Tanjay, but to come on here and be stupid. Yeah, he said word of mouth is typical for real estate transactions. But yeah, guys, y'all got to understand. We need to bond together because they're bonding together. They will forsake your ass for another Filipino. Okay? But we don't do that. We so whipped over here, pussy whipped. You know, we go straight to the women. You don't even try to get any help. But in that same article, it says, how long can a man go without sex? Well, the answer was there's no quantifiable answer. But prolonged sexual abstinence can lead to various signs of distress in men, ranging from psychological symptoms, anxiety and depression, to physical symptoms and behavioral changes. I've seen that when you guys coming over here. Oh, man. He said, women in Corpus Christi are the same way, Calvin. Turn on you on a dime. Yeah. But I'm just saying that you see how these men, when they get in trouble over here, you don't see Filipinos coming to their aid. Okay? It's us that come to the aid. But what do we do over here? We come over here, we put these women on a pedestal, we forsake each other, you know, put each other down for the sake of the woman, not realizing who your real friends are. But you will know. Yeah, you're out of here, J. Dave. Thank you. Okay, yeah, Leonard, he said, thanks. I would try word of mouth. Oh, he said, I think his girlfriend. Maybe I spelled correctly. Yeah, you spelled it incorrectly. That's right. No, you can come in. Yeah, you're right. But they don't understand that. They think these women really love us and all of that. And oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know, if they tell them, see, there's a lot of guys that don't follow my channel anymore because they woman or their wife told them don't do it. Man, look, y'all in the wrong boat. Don't do that. Okay. They whipped over here. Imagine that made me mad, man. I'm like, really? Merlin ain't done nothing to y'all. Merlin gave her the numbers, the winning lottery, the winning numbers to the damn lottery. She should be inviting Merlin to every damn thing. What are you talking about? I'm not going to shut up about that. Pissed me off, man. Merlin ain't done none of these people. I'm the one on the, Merlin don't have a YouTube channel. I do. I mean, but that just shows you how whipped men get when they come over here. But yeah, let's get to the subject. Let me see if there's anything else I put down here. Yeah, they say, how often should men have sex? Well, it says uh, the average is a few times a week. Well, what's a few times? 2 or 3 times a week. Because it says we have an emotional need to feel desired. Men do. But let's talk about this. And I got this out, my video on when I was saying, we're legally being robbed over here. I said, you're going to get tired of paying for everything, especially if you don't have any responsibility. Like I got responsibility. I got children and everything, right? But if you don't have any responsibility, you're going to get tired of paying for everything. Then everybody's on there. Oh, just say no. You got to say voila and all this, right? Look, listen, guys. Saying no all the time is not a good strategy. It's not a realistic one. Okay? And let me put this out there. If you're in a situation where you constantly have to say no, are you being just, you're just being, you're just being asked over and over for stuff. You're probably in the wrong situation. You need to leave that situation because that's not really how it works over here. What we really have to do is learn to say no to ourselves. But you can't say no when the electric bill is due. Okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You're going to be paying for every damn thing, and you just can't say no. And you got to know when to say no. Okay, you can say yes 99 times, and it doesn't matter. It's that no that has to be placed properly, guys. But you can't just come over and say, "Oh no, that's not the correct use of the word no over here." Because believe it or not, man, Filipinos are low maintenance. Okay, they're very low maintenance. We're the ones who do all that spending. You see that motorcycle out there, Maryland's got. Maryland would have been happy keeping that used motorcycle she had before. No, I went out there and bought that one Honda 160. Filipinos are very low maintenance, guys, but these internet tough guys get on there. Yeah, just say no, tell her no. Man, if you constantly telling somebody no, or they're constantly asking you for something, you're in the wrong situation because that's really not what's going on over here. Okay? Usually when you have to say no, I wrote some stuff down. Borrowing or lending money. You got to say no there. A business. No. Investing. No. Okay, remember this stuff that was going on over here? What was it called? It was like a Bitcoin thing was going on big. Everybody wants coming to me in Maryland. Yeah, y'all could be managers. I was like, no, I'm not. No, I said, house and lot. You have to say no unless you married. Okay, unless you're married, unless you have children, you have to say no there. Yeah, Curly's at about 90%. And he's not all the way there yet. But yeah, he's a whole lot better. He said Bitcoin. Yeah, there was no, it wasn't BitConnect. It started with an A. What's the name of that, honey? Hi. What's the name of that thing everybody was investing in? Her sister lost a lot of money in it. I mean, a lot of people lost money in that investing. But knowing when to say no is the best strategy because you're not going to have to say it, a lot. But you better know when to pull that trigger. But we misuse it. We get on here thinking, oh, anything they say, no. You can't mistreat people over here. I mean, she doesn't have any money. Her family doesn't have any money. Friends don't have any money. I mean, you basically got to get out of your own way when it comes to that word no. That's who you're going to be basically saying no to. If Marilyn, all of us, imagine we've been together 4.5 years. We're in an unspoken agreement, but at the same time, I've never had to tell her no because Filipinos are low maintenance. She's not going to come in here and say, oh, can you give me 10,000 pesos to buy the latest Louis Vuitton bag? I mean, if you're in a situation where you have to say no all the time, man, you need to get up and leave. Retired 2019 said, hey, Calvin, are most Filipino women very fit? Well, just because of their daily activities of life, retired 2019, they're in good shape. Now, they run the gamut like every other, you know, people. You know, you got big, small, tall, thin, and all that. But overall, man, can you imagine how far they have to walk? Washing clothes on that little 6-inch stool every day. Just all the things they have to do. They have to go to work and then work at home. Yeah, they're fit. But to be more specific, it's big. It's a big trend and it's growing. Fitness is. I was at the gym, not yesterday, but the day before. There was a lot of people there Friday. There was a lot of people there. 3/4 of them are women. But they're in great shape, okay? Fit, I know what you're saying, you know. But he says, I hate dogs and I hate roosters because I make it. Absolutely, you can. They don't go 24 hours a day. But remember, you can't come over here and change the Philippines. Anywhere you go outside of your country, you got to deal with something different than what you're already dealing with. That's life. I didn't want anything. I didn't want the same life I was living in America, Richard. But of course, do you hear any dogs now? Do you hear any roosters now? You know, it's not a 24-hour thing. Okay. He says, good question. Oh, it's not. You can easily go places where you're not going to hear dogs and roosters. But hell, it's better than hearing sirens and all that other stuff you hear over there and gunshots over there. He said, whatever happened to Rudy? Well, somebody got in his ear, man. You know, these grown-ass men, I don't care. They got the right to choose wherever they want to go. You know, somebody got in his ear. Or maybe he found a woman or something. Hey, Jack. He said, good morning, Cal, and everybody. You know, I was seeing him on a channel before, but I don't think he's even on there anymore. Yeah, I mean, big deal. I don't get it. If that's all you're worried about, yeah, you may want to stay where you are, go somewhere else. You're going to miss out on really what's really going on. Yeah, but you can't say no when the electric bill arrives, okay? Then it says, don't wait until you're broke before saying no either. You just got to know when to say no. But these guys who get on here, all in my comments in the live stream, just say no. No, no, no. You know, no is the default word over here. Filipinos are used to saying no. But if you're in a situation, man, where you constantly saying no, or you constantly being asked for stuff where you have to say no, you need to leave that situation, man. Okay? Because that's normally not the case. We're causing our own overspending over here. You know, you can't be cheap Charlie, but you do have to have some limits and some boundaries. Or you're going to go broke over here. A lot of men do. But we don't look at that. They want to hear only the good stuff. Yeah, he said, I'd imagine you tune the roosting dogs out over time. Yeah. The tune-up will tune that out. Retired 2019. Said, Cal, I weighed myself today and I dropped another 4.5 pounds since September. I'm down 43 pounds since I retired. Thanks for being an inspiration to get healthy. You're welcome. I was talking to a guy yesterday, a young Filipino guy at the gym, and we were just talking, and he was like, "Do you come here every day?" I said, "I come here about 4 or 5 times a week. Not to be a bodybuilder, but just to be fit, just to be in shape, because I want to live longer. I want to live longer and better, even though I would take quality over quantity. I want them both." What time is it? Travel says, "Hey, Cal, look like Geechee getting around. I seen him and Sharon Lapu Lapu channel. He really in love with Filipino people." Yeah, that video was a long time ago. But yeah, he's I think he's going, he's volunteering for the next, I think he's on his way to his new destination. What's today? Yeah, he should be there already. He's volunteering to rebuild a school. Frank Ellis said Geechee Line doesn't like constructive criticism. But guess what? Nobody does. I took a psychology course the first and only semester I went to college, and that was one of the topics. No one likes constructive criticism. There's no such thing as constructive criticism. No one likes it. I'm sorry. Does it help people? I guess if you don't get angry enough and mad enough to tune them out, if you listen to what they're saying and say, hey, maybe he's right, but they don't mean we like it. Yeah, he said you block out all the noises. I mean, it's just that's a small sacrifice. But, Filipinos love dogs and they love roosters. So, they're going to take them over you any day. You're a visitor. But you can be somewhere where you don't have that. But I doubt that you can be anywhere where you don't hear that rooster. It's a multi-billion peso business. He says, hey, Brother Cal, question. I know the Philippines people don't keep up with the current news, or is it not their thing? They really do. Remember, we can't paint them all with one brush. A lot of the times, these questions I'm asking, these are just people on the street. And I could go to my neighborhood in Louisville, Kentucky, and ask the same general questions, and we wouldn't know shit either. S1 Philly vibe. This is what I was telling Maryland. I said, it's not a bad look on Filipinos. It's a bad look on people. 57% of Americans never pick up another book once they leave high school. 35% of us get our news from Facebook. So you think if I went out on the street and was asking general questions like that, like name 4 Supreme Court justices, could they tell you? They probably can't even tell you. When I asked the question, who gave the name to the Philippines, right? Who named the Philippines? If I ask you right now, who named America? You're going to tell me who it was named after, but you're going to tell me who named America. Moments with Mitch says, thanks for having me on the channel. 4 men reached out. I feel like I made 4 new friends and we'll be able to help them make their retirement better. Yeah, you're welcome. That's what the community's about. We got to stick together, guys, because they're sticking together over here. Go anywhere on this planet where Filipinos are and they're helping each other. I don't want to hear about that crab in the bucket mentality. Maybe it is in certain instances, but from what I've seen, they help each other. Let me remind you that when me and my wife split, she went back to America with no job and no place to stay. And of course, she was single. Now all that's been taken care of by her Filipino friends. We come over here, we came by 20 pesos from each other, and we take the woman's side over here against your expat comrade, comrade. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Whipped. Just it's just disgusting, man. Y'all was weak over there. That's why when you come over here, you weak. Hey, China's Alter Vulcan, he said, constructive criticism is usually based on opinion that lacks detail to a result. I guess that's what he's saying, that last detail to a result. Yes, it's just, if there's no people don't like it, whether it's good or bad, no one likes to be criticized, okay? 0 people. Hey, what's going on? He says, across Kansas, Hellebrook, Cal, for Fort Knox. Yeah, it's about an hour from me. Let's see. He says, Secret War says, buying a condo in Fio and renting it, do you think could maintain consistent passive income, maybe buying multiple? I think you can, but remember, it depends on where you're going to buy it. If I were going to buy one, I'd buy it in Cebu and Manila. Even though you're going to pay more, that's where all the people are. Most of the expats are up in Manila, Metro Manila, up that way. Of course you could. Of course you could. People do it all the time. Filipinos are doing it. You could actually have your condo paid for that way. But I made a video 2 years ago when we were in Sapalai. Now, if you're going to make an Airbnb, or any type of accommodations, it's going to be either budget or 5-star. Don't make it in between here. You got too much competition. But the budget to attract the people who are the budget travelers, or the 5-star, give them something that nobody else is giving them. Make sure your Airbnb or your condos got everything in it. The swimming pool, the gym membership, give them everything. Don't just give them a condo. See, that's what the law of contrast is. If you read one of my favorite books, if you like to read, and anybody who wants to borrow this can, he talks about the law of contrast in here. Because most of us, we're doing the same thing, saying the same thing, choosing the same women, but when somebody does something different, you're going to get that attention. He gave the example of they were selling ties in a department store where they had a perfectly tied Windsor knot on the mannequin. And the people could come by and look at their tie versus the perfect Windsor tie. And they end up going in getting the tie. It's the same thing with the Airbnb. That's what you want to do. Don't just, give them what everybody else is giving them. That's why I haven't put that on Airbnb. But once I get the hot water, that's going on Airbnb for extra money for Maryland. Because that's got a whole lot. First of all, there are no Airbnbs in San Carlos City anymore. There was one good one, Joy's Place, where me and Maryland stayed the first time we were here. But that's it. If you pick an Airbnb in San Carlos, you're going to end up in Sapaway Island. Okay? Once I get that hot water in there, that's going Airbnb for $1,000 a night. I got the, not only do I got the smart TV, but I got the damn Fire Stick over there that's loaded with almost 1,000 channels, air conditioned. You're going to have hot and cold water. You're going to have a real mattress. You're going to have everything over there. It's going to be hard to beat that for $1,000. You're not going to be able to beat it over here because there is no place. He said, what makes you feel good about yourself is because I'm making my own decisions now. China's older Vulcan. I'm following my plan for my life now. That's what makes me feel good about myself. And I've been pretty successful. Everybody can stand some improvement. But self-improvement is probably the best, and self-criticism is probably the best King Arthur says, I have no problem with lending a person I know a little money, but if they don't pay me back within a reasonable time, I would never lend them a single peso if they ask me again. Yeah, you're exactly right. But the point I'm trying to make is we won't help each other unless it's just like the man on Q's channel. He's just in dire straits. Somebody seen that long before Q Adventures, but we walk right by him. You know, get with these women, because see, you know, on my Patreon page, I'm getting ready to release a video about, you know, what do you really have in common with your Filipino, you know, other than sex? See, yeah, it's a very good deal for $1,000 per night, and it'll probably be pretty popular. You know, to just give her some extra income. You know, when I'm not around. And then, you know, because people's like, oh, well, they always say, well, if you run out of money, well, if she runs out of sex, you're probably not going to stick around either. So let's be honest. We don't want to talk about us. We always want to talk about them. Let's talk about us sometime. That's how you improve. Let's talk about us sometime. But let's talk about, okay, and when you talk about no, it's not always about finances. It could be you don't want to be around certain people. You don't want to go certain places. You don't want to sing karaoke. It's not always about finances where you got to say no and have some. You may not want certain people over your house. It's a whole lot of things you can say no about. But just to say no all the time, like these guys are saying, these guys are they're out of touch with reality. That's not reality. You can't say no all the time. What woman's gonna want to stay around you if everything she asked or wants to do, you say no? It's ridiculous. You're not gonna want to do it either. You're not gonna want to stay around somebody like that when the answer's always no. I'm sorry, you're not gonna do it. But when I made the video the other day, like, man, we're being legally robbed over here. You know, we're paying for every single thing. I said, and I've been doing it for 14 years, and it gets tiring. Okay, but once I had my children, it made me feel like, okay, there was a reason for it. There was a purpose. Okay, but what are you going to say no to? Yeah, he said they don't have women. I'm saying, what are you saying no to? The water bill comes available. Are you going to say no? The electric bill, the food bill, you're paying for everything. So what are you talking about? You know, there's unspoken agreement that's firmly in place, that should have been firmly in place from the beginning. But we just want to be, you know, everybody's got all these answers online, but they're really not, it's not reality when you're living over here. Hey, William Davis, he says, medical costs wiped me out after 4 years. I'm back to the USA soon. Still enjoyed life here. Yeah, well, see, that doesn't mean that you're stuck over there. Remember I said it's okay on my last live stream. It's okay to go back to the lab. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you did enjoy yourself. And what I would like for you to do, see, people like you can help us, William. I'd like for you to come on here, not really talk about in detail your situation, but just kind of tell us what you would have done differently. Would you have gotten a better healthcare policy before you came here? You know, because he said medical costs wiped him out, so he's got to go back home. At least you're able to make it back home, William. See? Oh, Ryan the Eaton Warrior, thanks for the super chat. He says, always saying no is an old man mentality for those that are dating too young or they're just not compatible. Yes, so something's not right. I mean, if you're in a situation where you're constantly saying no to someone, or they're constantly asking you, why are you still in that situation? That's not the norm over here. I mean, it's not, guys. Filipinos are low maintenance. They're very low maintenance. We're the ones who make the problem. Buying all this expensive stuff. But they say that, oh, no, you gotta learn to say no. You're not saying no to that young, attractive woman. You lying. You lying. And you know you lying. Talking about saying no. You're damn lie. You whipped over here and you scared to say no because you know she may, you're afraid she may pull that tune up back. You're not going to say no. You're afraid you can't get a woman over there. That's why you're over here. Now all of a sudden you want to be this tough guy. Oh, I'm in charge of everything. Man, you guys need to be, man, y'all tripping, man. Is what y'all doing. Yeah, they get voted out. Yeah, eventually. It's not a good strategy over here. And it's not reality. He said that guy on Q's channel looks horrible. He needs to escape from the Philippines. Yeah, but y'all think I'm yapping when I get on here, man. I'm in touch with reality over here. I'm trying to help people. They don't want my help. They want this sugary version. But when I just tell you what I'm seeing around me, like, hey, y'all need to check on y'all people over here. This expats over here struggling, in bad shape. Okay, and when they come over here, y'all included, you need to tell somebody that, hey, man, I'm going to the Philippines. I don't know how long I'm going to be there, but if you don't hear from me in a couple of months, check on me because I could be in trouble like him and several others. Q Adventures has another man on his channel who's staying with a local family. Took him a pizza or something. I was watching the video the other night. But y'all think I'm just babbling. Y'all don't realize we need each other over here more than we may not have got along over there, but you certainly got to get along with me over here. Let's push aside our differences that we had over there. Who was I talking? We were just having this discussion at dinner with Kobe Stewart. I said, I don't give a damn what you were over there. We need to push all that aside and come together over here because we need each other here more than ever. But what do? The total opposite. That's right. Yeah. See, how long would you stay if she kept saying no to you? But these are tough guys, Jack. See, you live over here. See, you know the truth. Saying no all the time. Yeah, you gotta say no, but you gotta know when to say no. When is it even appropriate? Yeah, when they start talking about borrowing money or lending money. That's when you say no. See, last year, I keep telling y'all this story because it pisses me off. That's why I got to talk about it. The only reason I loaned that woman money, she asked Marilyn. She didn't ask me, okay? It was one of Marilyn's clients. And the lady had a business, a real business. And I was like, okay, I want to do it for Marilyn because I really don't know what she's done for Maryland before. Maybe she's already helped because a lot of that goes on over here. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Okay. So I gave her the $10,000. We haven't seen that. And the lady that disappeared, she's off the map. Okay. But I have not before. That was the first time in 14 years I ever lent anybody money over here. I'll just give it to you. I'm not going to lend it. But before I sent, people showing up at my door, asking me to lend, friends of Maryland, family members. No. When it comes to lending and borrowing, no. I'm sorry. I got to say no with that. Okay. Business. Oh, I want a sorry store. Oh, you do? I'm going to do just like the guy who came over here. He said, yeah, Calvin, I told her I would get her a business if she went back to school and got a business degree or, some type of business training. I'm not just going to open up a piggery or sorry store or anything with just because you think it's a great idea. Investing, no. Now all of a sudden, when people get money, I don't care where you are. If you're not used to having money, then all of a sudden you get money. Now all of a sudden you know everything about investing and business. No, her sister, the 1.3 million cash she had, she lost it in record time, trying to invest, trying to go in business. That's lifetime money over here. She should still have that money. The best way to invest over here is just to save it. You don't know where your next damn meal's coming from, and you're out there trying to buy sugarcane fields and invest in Acme. It was something, guys. Help me. Well, anyway, she lost it all. She lost it all. Hey, thanks, Paul Hickman, for that super chat. He said, so appreciative of the info and wisdom imported, brother. Salute. Yeah, I'm going to give y'all everything I got, my boots on the ground experience. I'm not an expert, but I'm an expert on my life. I just share what I'm running into over here, because more than likely you're going to run into the same thing. More than likely, okay? Yeah. How successful is it? It's not going to be very successful. Well, have you ever had a business before? No. She's going to say no for you. Do you have any experience running a business? No. Okay. By the time she gets to 5 no's, then you just say, well, no. Just add another no to it. Okay? That's all you got to do. Let us say no. And you're like, well, have you got any experience in investing? No. Have you ever invested before? No. Do you have a bank account? No. How much money you got in your pocket? Nothing. Well, no. That's all you got to do. And it's over. Okay? And that's all it is. That's the proper use of the word no. But I'm not being barraged with requests all day long, man. I promise you. Okay, if I open up my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook Messenger, there may be one person in there and say, hey, can you help me with my books or something like that? And if I got it, I'll help them. But normally, no one is ever going to ask you anyway. You're the one that's going to be spending over here. Who else has the money to spend? So you're buying everything, you're spending everything, you're paying for everything. That would be a red flag for a woman to come up to you and say, hey, you're doing all this. By the way, can you buy me a motorcycle or a car? I'd run out of that place. Hey, grumpy dude, Brian, he says, Cal, you've always been very real with your comments and analysis of life in the Philippines. I'm always satisfied with the knowledge you impart to those who have not been to the Philippines. But thank you. And here's the thing, though, that people get wrong about me. They think I'm preaching to them. I'm just telling you my life. 99% of the videos I do are about me. They're not about anybody else. Yeah, she's going to say no for you, Frank. You don't have to say it. That's the proper use of the word no. If do you have a business degree? No. Okay. Keep on saying no. Yeah, he said ice cubes. Yeah. They're out there trying to buy sugarcane fields. Man, not realizing, okay, because here's the thing, okay. I had a janitorial service long ago, man. I'm talking about in the late 80s. Before anybody was doing it, really. Okay, me and a couple of my friends in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, it's, remember that phase where everybody went through? I guess it was in the 90s. They saw you with a janitorial service, so I'm going to start one. Landscaping business, I'm going to start one. So everybody's riding around with a Ford F-50 with a trailer and, the lawnmower that does the 360. everybody, they see you doing it and think they can do it, right? It's the same over here. It's the same thing over here. Okay, there is a woman here. She's a young lady. I don't know. You really don't know how successful they are because you don't see the books. You just got to go by what they tell you. She says she's got 4 sugarcane fields that she bought and she earns a profit from them. Okay. Well, this is what other people want to do. So they see that she's doing it. Oh, I can do it. She's no smarter than me without knowing any particulars or anything. They want to try it. That's how the piggeries and stuff got started. Robert Dane says, fact, pack that no button in your suitcase along with your set of balls. But you're not going to use that. When you use the no button over here, you're really going to have to dust it off, Robert. Unless you just in a bizarre situation. I'm just telling you guys, if you got a woman over here, her and her family, they're steadily just asking you, and you just tired of saying no, pack your damn bags and get out of there. Attach your balls back, stand up, and walk out from that situation, okay? Because that's normally not what's going to happen over here. So if it's happening to you, put your nuts back where they belong. Get them from around your damn throat. Rick Hard said, cash is king. Rushing to put those resources in a illiquid asset in another's name is not wise. Rich people are not poor people with money. That's right. That's right. If I were going to invest in anything in the Philippines, it would be real estate. Real estate is booming here, man. Because they're not creating any more land. The population has exploded. So everywhere you look, when you look in this little city, look how many houses are going up. That would be the only thing I would really invest in. And then she would have to go back to school to, I'll get her certificate in real estate. I'm not just going to start that. Well, remember I would say this all the time. Filipinos aren't stupid. We're stupid. Filipinos aren't stupid. Okay, they know the value they know how important self-preservation is. Okay, they're going to look after themselves and their families in their best interest first. They're not going to try to impress you. Okay, they sit back and they're quiet and they let you come over here and do all that stupid stuff. Then when all your money's gone, it's like, oh, well, now you're scrambling trying to get back home. You're scrambling trying to, do whatever it is that you're trying to do now that you don't have any more money. But yeah, they're not stupid. They're very smart. I told you the story about the guy here, 63 years old, has 12 million pesos, not realizing, look, he's not married to the lady. Those children aren't his. Why doesn't he realize that 12 million at 63 years old, you're living in the Philippines, wouldn't have lasted him for the rest of his life? What about that doesn't he understand? But what does he do? He sends it all over here, bits and pieces at a time to the lady. She messes it up, of course, because she knows nothing about investing. She knows nothing about business or anything. And he says, hey, why don't you sell this piece of land so we can do this, this, and that? Nope, I'm not. Who's going to take care of me and my family when you die? Okay, now his Social Security ain't enough now. He's done everything for this woman. Said, hey, come on home from that OFW job you got way over wherever you are so you can spend time with your family and your children. Okay. She's like, okay, sucker, if you're going to do it, I'm not telling you to do it. And now the land that he bought with his own money, she won't sell. Okay? That's self-preservation. That's being smart. He was being dumb. And you say, Calvin, that don't happen all the time. Yes, it does. Happens all the time over here. Ryan the Eden Warrior, thanks for that super chat. He said, I don't understand guys that stay in a bad situation in the Philippines. Girls are everywhere. Don't settle for a bad situation, no matter your looks or age. See, this is perfect. But I just said it. If you weak over there, Ryan, you're going to be weak over here. I see it all the time. They lay down and let the woman run over top of them. You know, they think, they just got so hard on help, look at me. I should she should be the one saying that. Now I don't know what's going on. I may have to switch to my phone because I'm on this damn computer. Let me do this real quick. Southern Purchase, thanks for that super chat. He said, great topic tonight. Next, I need you to talk about saying no to the big Shirleys, big Susans, and big Marthas. Oh, that's easy. Are you going to lose weight? No. Do you got a gym membership? No. You just keep asking and let her keep saying no, Southern Purchase. And then you're like, okay, no, I'm not dealing with you then. Yeah, it is too many fish in the sea, but you got some weak-ass men over here. Some of the weakest men I've ever seen. And I guess well, when all else fails, I'll just come to the Philippines and be a damn wimp. The worst place to be a wimp of all places, the Philippines. When men are getting their lives back, they're getting their legs back up underneath them. They're not laying down. They're come over here so they can stand up. But what do I know? I don't know nothing. He ain't come over here. I didn't come over to mistreat anybody either. I didn't come over to take advantage of anybody. I'm taking advantage of the circumstances, not any person. But I didn't come over here to lay down. And too many of us are laying down over here. And when you say that, people get mad. They don't want to hear the truth. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Men are coming over here laying down when they should be standing up. You got a new damn life. You see it over and over what's going on these channels. If you look good enough, you just look good enough. These men are struggling over here. Even the man on Q Adventures, he said he had a relationship with a Filipino for 18 months. Where is she? She's gone. Probably with somebody else. Left him for dead. Well, this is true. But it's not even that. Some of them can't even get it up. They just want attention. They want, somebody to push them around in a wheelchair. They can't hear. They can't see. But they don't want to help you. They don't want to, they don't want to be a part of the community. They want to come over and separate from you. Well, that's just my personality. I'm not pissed, man, okay? First of all, I'm living my best life over here. Watch a few of my channels, you'll see. Yeah, I froze for a moment because I'm on my laptop. Sometimes it does that. Why don't you show your face? Why you seem invisible all the damn time? Huh? That's what I want to know. Because you are. That's just how I am. That's just my personality. See, they don't like it. They weak. They want somebody, Hey, Kamal, thanks for that super chat. He said, this may sound silly, but has there been speculation of real estate investing on the uninhabited islands? Well, it's not silly, but hell, there's 5,000 islands, over 5,000, that haven't even been named yet. So that means if you're doing it, I'm pretty sure you could probably come over and buy an island, But then you got to bring electricity there. You got to bring water there. You know how expensive that could be. You know. Well, see, everybody says that. Okay. You're going to do that by default because that's part of the unspoken agreement, really. Okay. You're going to do it subconsciously because, like I said, she doesn't have any money. The family doesn't have any money. The friends don't have any money, but you do. But everybody says that, and they end up doing it in some way, shape, or form. Sam Cruz says, Cal, what are the first red flags you need to watch out for if you choose to take your Filipino back to the West? Well, when she starts hanging out with them Filipino friends of hers over there, more than she's hanging out with you. That's one red flag, but you're the one who introduces her to the friends. Because if you bring her over there, okay, the reason I say do the K1 is because when you bring her there, she's not going to be able to work. She's going to have to, it's going to force her to settle down and get acclimated to the new country. She's going to have about 5 or 6 months to, to do that. But when you get married here or wherever, and then when she gets to your country, she's got the damn green card. She can go to work immediately and all that. See, now it could be problems, but most of the time you're not going to have any problems. But when you do, that's usually when she's got that green card in her hand already. And then you introduce her to the people at church, and then they're going to school her. This is where I got the idea for the community. They've got one of the most powerful on earth in America. You need a job? Come on, we'll get you. You need a place to stay. We'll introduce you to somebody. Let's eat. They get together 2 or 3 times a month to eat. They're powerful, man. But we won't do it because we go straight to the woman. Whatever the woman say, that's what we're going to do. There's guys that quit watching my channel because a woman tell them not to. Yeah, but if something goes wrong over here, guess what? Sunshine Shoulders or Q's Adventures or Paul Old Dog New Tricks. You're calling one of us or your buddy that lives in the condo community with you. They're not going to help you. I hate to tell you that. David Masters says, exactly. Those guys never had anywhere they come from. Then they lose their damn man when they finally get a woman. Yeah. That's what happened. That's what happens is crickets over there. Then they come over here. Then all of a sudden, they're the man. Get out of here, booby. Moments with Mitch says, I love your video on The World Is Yours. I put it on my LinkedIn page and gave you credit, of course. Hopefully you'll get some new followers and inspire others at the same time. Thank you. See, eventually, Mitch, believe it or not, my channel is going to veer toward that because I probably got another 6 months to a year to talk about the Philippines. I mean, nobody's really listening, really. Okay. I can do other things. See, I'm versatile. I can do other things. I can make documentaries, but it's kind of getting tired. It's, grown men are some of the hardest people to help anyway. We're so full of pride, false pride. You know what I'm saying? But thank you. Yeah, I'm going to write more. I probably, if I'm on here another year from now, I'll be surprised myself. But remember, this is a community. If I'm not doing videos, I'm still going to have the community going because it's very important. We're 8,000 miles away. People don't seem to think they need any help over here. I got this. I got my pension. I've been 40 years at the post office, 30 years in the military. I retired from the police department. That means nothing over here. Okay? That means absolutely nothing. Yeah, he's unseen. Well, I don't know. It's because remember I did the video on chronic loneliness. Why do y'all think that I just made that video up? Go Google that and see that it's an epidemic over there in America. I can only talk about America. See, I can't speak for any other country. You got me in 60s, 70s, 80s. There's a man on Q Adventures, he's 90s. They don't have anybody over there. The last time they had pussy was when pussy had them, really. They're lost. They come over here and a woman shows some attention toward them and they lose it. He said, Cal, I noticed recently a few YouTubers are planning on taking the Philippines back to the West. What are your thoughts? Well, to each his own. My experience has been most of the guys never have a problem, believe it or not. But I left America because I was unhappy over there. So I'm not going to bring back a woman now just to be unhappy. There's going to be two of us because if I'm unhappy, she's going to be unhappy. She's going to be away from her friends and family. And eventually, you're going to have problems. But for the most part, they don't have, they don't run off. They just change into an American or French or British or whatever it is. And you're just going to have a Filipino American. That's all you're going to have. I don't want that. But I say more power to them. Remember, it just depends. The problem I got with it, Sam, is that we bring them over without really knowing them. We bring these women and men over to our country, and we go through all of this. We make all these sacrifices. We don't even know them for real. You can't know somebody in 2 weeks. You can't know somebody in 2 months. But that's what we do. That's the only problem that I see with it. And, because everybody thinks, oh, this is the one. I know it. I can feel it. Well, you said that about all the other wives you had and relationships you had. But, yeah, it just depends. Some guys can't make it over here. I think one guy was on the live stream earlier. He said, he says he's going to come over here and he's going to eventually marry his long distance relationship. He hasn't met the lady yet, by the way. He's already going to marry her just from what he's seeing on the screen. This is the insanity that you're never going to get through to men. I don't care how many videos you do. I don't care how many times you talk about it. That's insane. To base your decision on what you're looking at on the other side of a damn laptop or phone. For a lot of you guys have a phone. You're sitting there, chatting with the woman on the phone, and you're making life-changing decisions. That's insanity, man. And it's not going to work. Those are the ones where it don't work. The guy, he marries the woman over here. After 2 weeks, he comes over on a 2-week vacation up in Manila. They get married while he's here. How insane is this? I don't care how much you've been chatting. That doesn't mean a thing. Gets over here, marries the woman, goes back, makes all the sacrifices, spends all the money, bails out for the visa. Lady gets her green card in the mail, and while he's at work delivering fruit or whatever his job was, he was some type of delivery driver. She done ran off with some man in New Jersey because he didn't know who he was dealing with. They're going to tell some. Do y'all know how tough it is over here? Let me repeat myself. Do you realize that the struggle is real here, among other places, but here? And that women, some women, not all, but a lot of those women on the dating sites will tell you anything and do anything to get out of here. But y'all don't listen to when people tell y'all that. You know, she's serious about me. She really loved me. I'm sorry. You marry them and then they come over there and they run off. Or they stay with you for 4 or 5 years. Then they end up with your neighbor or your co-worker or somebody in your family. Because the tables are turned now. Now they're over there where they're wanted. They got the royal flush now. See, so when you bring them over, one thing is you turn in your royal flush for a pair of deuces with a jack high. Yeah, that's what you do. Grumpy Dubrand says that to Kamar's question, there are islands for sale now. You can search on Google if you're serious. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. But remember, guys, with my channel and a lot of my vlogs, I'm just having a conversation like we are now. Y'all see so much into it. We're just having a conversation. This is a good conversation to have. But they see it as something else. Like a black man ain't supposed to have an opinion. But Howard Stern can have an opinion. He can talk about any damn thing he wants to talk about. Or Joe Rogan or Andrew Tate and all the rest of them. But let me bring some, oh, you're angry, man. You're angry. I'm angry. That's so old, man. Come on, guys. Hey, Ryan, thanks for that super chat. He says, damn, the dude going to have a heart attack if his long-distance fiance is packing. Who buys a car without looking under the hood? You can say this until you blue in the face. They're not going to listen. They do the same thing over here. They don't even know the woman a month or two. They buying a house and buying a lot, getting married, adopting the children. You know, oh, I'm going to lift you out of poverty. Like you really got that type of money and you got that type of power that you can lift somebody out of poverty. You can't do it, man. You know, I don't know where these guys are coming from. You can't lift somebody out of poverty who doesn't want to be lifted out of poverty. As long as you're around and feeding them all that money and stuff on a silver platter, they're out of poverty. But the minute you off the scene and the rubber hits the road, guess what? All this shit's gonna crumble. Hey, you being mean. No, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. There's no way they can maintain that. Unless you die, which I've seen it done before. There's a woman here living in St. Carlos City now, where the man comes over and married to her for 2 or 3 years, dies, and leaves her everything. Yeah, left her everything. Forget about his family in America or wherever he came from. In his mind, she deserved it all, and he gave it to her. So now she's over here now and got a Filipino boyfriend, still young, late 20s, early 30s, living it up off of his money. Oh, he said today on the live stream, a guy said he just married an LDR Filipino he never met in person. Well, that doesn't shock me, man. That's the nature of the beast now. I mean, this tune-up, guys, I'm going to tell you, it's gotten real expensive. And it's just going to get more and more expensive. Rick Hart, thanks for that super sticker, because we got these women thinking that it's gold and it's not. Let me repeat myself. A pussy ain't nothing unless you got a dick stuck up in it, okay? That's not my saying. That comes off of a rap song a long time ago. But it's true. I have to agree with it. You know, it's not. It's nothing. We give it that value, and the prices went up. You got guys over here just throwing millions away. And then, they'll get mad at you for talking about it. Well, don't do it. Don't do it then. Yeah, he left for everything. And now, he died. I guess he figured, well, I'm dead, so she's over living it up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he must have had kids, a brother and sister, or somebody, but he felt that she deserved it all, so he gave it to him. Yeah, he said that angry black man label. Exactly. I know you are much broader than the race topic, but please know this. The bigot man, the folks will provoke you, so I'm glad you're calling it out. Yeah, they will. I mean, I've been on here for 3 years. It used to get to me, but because I didn't know anything about YouTube and, the sick people that hang around your live streams and the comment section. Imagine I'm over in the Philippines. You think I'm going to be hanging around somebody's comment section waiting for them to release a video so I can pounce on them and say something? It's a lot more to do over here. 53 Shades Darker in the Philippines says, Cal, I say that woman leaves, you let her go and have a life. One monkey don't stop no show. Grab your jewels and move on. Self-confidence is king. Learn for it and move on. It's too easy. It is. But when you got men who lack self-confidence, who, in their minds, this is the best thing that they've ever had, which in a lot of cases it is. Because she's going to bend over backwards, jump through hoops, turn around in circles, and do everything. They don't think, that they can live without them. I'm so angry with some people over here. They got a nerve to be angry with me. You're a damn fool. You can't even see it. But they get mad at Maryland. Maryland don't have a YouTube channel. Get mad at me. I don't care, But don't get mad at Maryland. She gave the woman the winning numbers to the damn lottery. She should be happy that everything she has, she should invite Maryland to. Hell, we invited her to the meet and greet where she met your sorry ass. I'm pissed off about it because Maryland ain't got nothing to do with it. Maryland's a good woman. The retired 2019 said, Calvin, the stories you have are amazing. I wish they were not true, but they're true. There's so many more. And these men in their mind, they're so important that anytime I bring up a story like that, they think I'm talking about them when I'm not. There's literally thousands upon thousands of Western men coming over here acting a damn fool. And if one story can save one of you guys out there who still are holding on to remnants of manhood, then that's what I'm going to keep telling them. It don't make sense. Hey, Retired 19, thanks for that super chat. He says, Calvin, I'm in the fourth quarter and I worked too hard to give my money away. It's love and business for me. Yeah, the video I made yesterday, they jump all in there. Oh, marriage is transactional. Well, prostitution is transactional, man. Let me remind you that. It's transactional. That's what I said. What y'all call transactional relationships, it's a thin line between that and prostitution. It's not really much different if you really want to get real about it, but you don't want the truth. Okay? And just because I don't say it, don't mean it's not happening. Or just because I talk about it, don't mean it's going to stop. And I'm making it worse. It is what it is. There's not much difference between the bar and that online dating site you're dealing with. So take it or leave it. Okay? I'm sorry. Take it or leave it. Run out of money and then you're going to say, all right, Calvin's right. Go up in a damn brothel with no money and see what happens. Don't get me started for real. Run up in one of these brothels with no money and see if they kick your ass out. Well, run out of money over here, like the Q's Adventure. The guy ran out of money. See what happened. Oh man, you guys, man, y'all don't want the truth. That's why they can't stand me, because I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm a man. I stand on what I say. Okay. You know, I'm trying to help people for real, but they take it personal, like a bunch of women. You know, all we doing is having a conversation. That's what men have, a conversation. 93% of my viewers are men. I can't even talk about stuff that only affect men without other men getting mad. There's no hope for y'all, man. Hey, Grumpy Dude Brain said, Brother Cal, just be you. The mistakes I personally learned in the field at the age of 47 were the mistakes you warn others about. 17 years later, I'm retired now, and your words still ring true today. You know, I'm just telling people my life experiences. It's not theirs. You know, I'm saying, hey, if what happened to me, if all the mistakes I made can help you, then that's what my channel is about. But if it can't, if you keep saying, oh, I'm the exception, all you got to do is say no over there, Cal. Okay, well, come on over here and say no and keep saying no and see what kind of life you have over here. You're going to be alone. Travis Gibson said, real men make beta males uncomfortable. Yeah, something's going on. You know, I don't get it. Well, which story are you talking about? He said Calvin's story about his uncle was hilarious. All zeros and ones at the end of the day. Yeah, he said, keep it real regardless. Family here and loving it. Thanks for all the advice. And see, that's why guys give me. You see, Old Dog New Tricks. You know, he threw out that when my channel first started. He threw out the dog whistle. Okay, because you know I used to watch him before my channel, and he was on a live stream, and somebody said, "Hey, what do you think about Sunshine Shoulders?" Right? And he says, "Oh, he's okay. He just gives too much advice." Right? That's a dog whistle, because he knows that people don't want to take, the people that follow him don't want to take advice from people like me. I don't give advice. I tell people my life story over here. What I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing, that's it. I just call it the nitty gritty. That's not a word I invented. People take it as advice. I'm sorry. It's not advice. I'm going to say 99% of the stuff I talk about, I've done. Sending money, doing all kind of stuff like that, making the mistakes that if hindsight were 2020, I would never make. You know, feeling sorry for people who don't need me to feel sorry for them, thinking I got to save people. Okay, these women are tough as nails. Okay, they're much tougher than us. She can deal with a whole lot more. See, that's why when the guy says, what do you think about people taking their Filipino back to their country? It's probably better, because she's probably going to adjust a whole lot more over there than you can over here. It's easy to go from hard to soft than soft to hard. So yeah, that may be an advantage when you take her back, because she can handle it. She can adjust, but you can't handle it over here. You're going to complain all the time. Oh, there's a brownout. The water's not cold. What happened to the water? You know, the lines are long. So yeah, some of y'all need to take your woman back home, because you're not going to be able to take it over here. You can't handle it. So yeah. Now he says, I'm not moving anywhere in the Philippines where there isn't a medical center within 1 kilometer, boots on the ground. Yeah, so you need to be in Cebu or Manila. Manila has the best hospitals. Davao has some good ones. You can go on Google and Google the top hospitals in the Philippines. out of the top 10, I believe 8 of them are in the Metro Manila area. One is in Davao and then one is in Cebu. He says, I agree. He said, Calvin's stories and realness is the reason I listen. I'm married with 2 kids and a wife. I have no plans of ever going to the Philippines, but the life advice Calvin lays down is the truth. Yeah, I'm 60 years old. Thank you, JT. If I don't know anything about life by now, man, well, damn, where have I been? What I've been doing for 60 years? A lot of it is just common sense is all it is. But we throw that out, JT, when we get on the plane to come over here. It's like we're trying to be Christopher Columbus, like we're discovering the Philippines and all of this, the natives, and we got to do everything for them. I'm going to name them and I'm going to do everything that he's supposed to have done, right? You don't have to do that. They've seen people like you before. You're nothing new. And that's why it's good to be humble. Practice some humility, man, and you're going to get along like a song over here, bro. You come over here thinking you better. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. Guys who are nothing at home, they come over all of a sudden, their chest is out, they 10 foot tall, they talking down to people, looking down on people. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to last long over here. Oh, yeah. Uncle Lewis. It's my father's big brother. They grew up in a time, man, that those men were men, okay? My uncle had most of his fingers fell off, okay, from frostbite because my grandmother and grandfather, he was the oldest. Said, look, you never come back home without your brothers and sisters. And it was, in the winter in Chicago, it gets really, really cold. Well, for some reason, my father had already gone home, but he didn't see my father, his little brother. He knew he could not go home. If he did, he was going to get the skin beat off of him. So he stayed out there, and just by all his fingers, with frostbite, they had to be cut off. That's the type of men that I grew up under, man, that I saw growing up, man. These were tough guys. Not the guys that come over here. I'm not a tough guy. I'm just telling you that I know a tough guy when I see one. He was tough. He killed a man. The guy down there killed him, cut him up so bad, but he survived. Ended up killing the man. And because he was working for the mob up in Covington, Kentucky, he never was charged. He ended up working with the ATF and retired there. I'm just saying, I know tough guys when I see them. You guys aren't tough. You guys are whipped over here. Yeah, see? But if I make a video about it, oh, yeah, well, our relationships, they say that, okay, well, that's what I'm trying to say. He said, Calvin, I don't even deal with women that say no. Relationships are transactional. But if I say it, people get mad. If I say, well, it's not much difference between that and prostitution. Oh, marriage is transactional. Well, I'm just saying, okay. Run up in one of these brothels with no money and see what kind of action you're going to get. It's the same over here. Come over here with no money, okay, and see what happens. See what's going to happen. I run out of money. How many times does it have to happen before you guys? This is what I'm telling you, that it gets to the point where you can't teach men, especially grown men, because we're of the opinion that it's never going to happen to me. It's just the other guy. We don't understand that the other guy is us. He came over here with the same dreams, the same everything we had. Okay? But how many men have to suffer? How many men have to bite the bullet and literally be drugged through the mud back home before you realize it could happen to you if you don't change some things? But the woman that they meet over here is different. No, she's not. She's no different. Ryan the Eden Warrior says, last I checked, you don't have to worry about child support or alimony laws or losing your half your stuff in the Philippines like the U.S. directs you. Yeah, now I'm not going to practice Philippine law without a license. But I was asking Marilyn about that. And she said, well, it's the responsibility of the man and the woman. Once you split up, no, they're not going to come after you. That's something that, by the way, has not helped really. Most of the money goes to the state anyway, because real men take care of their kids. Women, imagine when me and my American wife, when we divorced, our oldest daughter was 15. I took care of my kids all the way to 15. But when we went through the divorce, she wanted child support. So, of course, guess what? The people go back in time and they say, oh, well, you owe X amount, right? Good thing I keep receipts. Good thing I keep receipts. See? Because they said, oh, you owe $34,000. I was like, no, I don't. I was paying my ex-wife out of my payroll when I had my insurance agency. And I got me a good lawyer. They try to take your passport and everything over there. It ain't helping nobody really. Sam Cruz says, I've noticed so many of the Filipinas that make it to the West become so materialistic and judgmental, even more so that the girls that were born there. I think it's because they were deprived of it. I don't know. All of them, I'm going to be honest with you, man. My wife she didn't change. A lot of them do, though. A lot of them never come back. They forget where they come from. But it's like any other person, too. Some it's not just them. Okay, but I'm talking about America. I'm not talking about these other places because I don't know much about these other places. Okay. The Filipinos look at America as like Disneyland. It's like the promised land to them. So yeah, that's why I say it's probably, if you're worried, I would take her home rather than stay over here because she can handle it. You can't handle over here. Yeah, all he does is give advice. See, this is exactly what I'm saying. But he threw that out there, because he knew that his viewers, they don't want to take advice from somebody who looks like me, okay? And by the way, when me and Geechee Lion went to Ground Zero, I took them to World First. They were all in there, but they act like they didn't see me come through the door. See, this is what I'm saying, guys. We can't act like that over here 8,000 miles away. You can't do it. But, if that's what they want to do, I don't have nothing against him. But I'm saying, look, this woman looked me right in the face. And you're going to tell me that she don't know who I am? Bullshit. They know. They're all sitting there at the round table. They're all important. I'm like, man, you guys don't realize if something goes wrong over here, it's your fellow man that's going to help you. He said, Big Shirley, make it easy to go from soft to hard. From hard to soft, yeah. Yeah, they are tough, man. There's no other way around it. You have to be tough over here, but we come over here thinking we're going to save them. So we send them all that money and, and we do everything for them. And you can't lift people out of poverty that don't think they're in poverty. But we can be self-delusion if we want to. Women are tough as nails over here, man. That's why I say when y'all get over here, it's not so much the age gap, it's more the maturity gap. You're going to meet women who was brought up in that province, man, that can handle anything you bring into the table. Because we're weak for real. We've had it easy our whole life. You think working over there on the factory for 30 years is hard and whatever we had to do over there. It's nothing compared to what people have to deal with over here and in other places. We just make it out to be hard. They, in America, we're the only ones. Like I was watching the highlights on football, and they were talking about the Cleveland Browns tight end who got burned. In a he had a fire pit in his backyard. I guess he got drunk. He got burned on his face. Well, the coach said, but he came to the game the next day. He's a warrior. I'm like, he's not a damn warrior. He's playing a football game. You're paying him millions of dollars to do. I mean, his face was burned. It ain't like he was had cast on his legs or something and on his arms and legs in a body cast. But that's the kind of stuff we think, he's a warrior. No, he's not. He's not fighting over there in Ukraine and all them places. Oh, man, y'all guys are crazy. He said, was your uncle named Leroy Brown? No, his name was Louis Arthur Roach. He was a real tough guy. We come over his house, and he'd have the real tape. The women, my mother didn't want us going over there because he didn't cut it off. He kept it on. I mean, he had stacks of naked books because we would go over there and look at them. I mean, he was a manly man. No, only like if you wasn't white, you had to be a light-skinned black woman. That's what he liked, and that's what he dealt with his whole life. He died at 84 years old, probably with them damn movies still playing on the wall in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm just telling you, he was a real man back in them days. The real men today catch hell. You can't be a real man in America today. You're going to catch hell. You're going to be controversial. He says, if you don't go to the Philippines at least $1,200, $1,500 a month, you're playing Russian roulette with your life. Yeah. So if you say $1,200 to $1,500, you need to add 25 to 50% more, Frank, to that. Because whatever you think you're going to spend, I promise you, you're going to spend more. I don't know what it is, but you are. You're going to spend more. He says $2,000 a month. Yeah, if you're looking at $1,200 and what's 25% of that? That would be $1,500 to $2,250 is what you would need, or it would be 50%. Yeah, it'd be like $2,200. That's Pumpkin Joe's Philippine experience. See, channels like his need to stay around, but we won't support him. Everything that y'all want from me is on his channel. Hey, why don't you go around and show us how Filipinos really live? Well, there it is. The guy, go on my last live stream. He says that to me in all capital letters. Well, here's the channel where it has that. Where's the drone footage? Right here. But y'all don't want to watch it. Pumpkin Joe Philippine Experience said, my friend's wife's Filipino friends look down on her and her husband because they don't have enough status for them. He makes over $100,000 a year. What are they thinking? Well, see, this is exactly right. Let me tell you this story. It's a black guy. Okay. Now, his Filipino wife, she's from the province. Well, she was. Pagadian, I'm talking about live really straight out of Cubo. Well, he's middle class. He works at Ford Motor Company in Louisville, Kentucky. But he got his own place, nice house, nice truck, everything, right? Would probably bend over backwards for the girl. But her friends, one of them is married to a doctor. One of them married to a guy owns his own construction company. They got like a big farm, basically, a big ranch, right? And so they start making fun of this girl, and say, oh yeah, like look at where you live, and you don't have it as good as we've got it, right? And it caused friction within that marriage, man, to the point where the lady ended up moving back here to the Philippines, back into that Cubo in Pagadian. She lives with a Filipino man now, okay? Because I'm friends with her on Facebook. And the lady's got, now imagine this, the lady's got a special needs child. She got 2 daughters, one special need, because of that. Oh, you don't have, they try to make you feel bad. It's like, lady, all you got to do is look where you came from to where you are now. Why are you worried about, but that's what they'll do. That's that click over there. You get the wrong click, you can forget it, man. Because I'm going to tell you, man, it's like any other people who come to America. Okay. Some Filipinos over there are really living high, man. I've been to the cathedral on Sunday. We should go every third Sunday of the month. They're pulling up in Maseratis, Bentleys, because they're doctors, lawyers, they're all of that. The same things that they do over here, they do over in America. And had it not been for the fact that I'd already been traveling to the Philippines for 5 years, so I knew what what it really meant to be around, Filipinos, I would have never came over here because, man, they turn into Americans really quick. Okay, yeah, I know what you was talking about, King Arthur. Thanks for that super chat. Say, Cal, I was referring to Leroy Brown, the song, yeah. But his life resembled that. He was a bartender and a bouncer. Now imagine in the 60s, a black man up in Covington, Kentucky. He was a tough guy. That's all I can tell you. Probably the only black man in the bar. A white guy comes in there, starts trouble, probably got drunk, and they start fighting, man. He, damn near killed my uncle. But my uncle got the best of it. So, yeah, his life is right out of that song. He said they're taking the girls back to the U.S. Good luck to them. I think, I think they'll be all right, really. They're taking them back probably because they're having problems over here. I saw that video, some of it where Gio said he's been over for 7 years. Well, hell, that's not that long. How old is Gio? You can't handle 7 years over here, and so maybe he just needs a break, but he should be all right. It's just, I'm telling you, you're turning in your royal flush, though, when you do that. I'm letting you know from experience. I just had, believe it or not, a good wife, man. She's still a good woman now. I can't be 2 places at once, though. That was a problem with me. And then guys get on here, because I tell y'all my story, because I want y'all, so you can relate. I'm not the only one like that, but, I didn't come over to turn around and go back home in 6 months, okay? I'm used to being with a warm body every single night. And that just wasn't going to happen, but she never changed. But every single day, I would have to deal with that over there, because she was 36, 26, 36 when she first got there. And so when she finally had to work, I mean, they're all on at work. I had to start, because at first she was riding with a coworker to work. It got so bad, I had to take my wife to work and pick her up. I'm an insurance agent, so I could do that because guys are all over. They never seen, these next pet guys. They so thirsty over there. And it's just, how it is in America. They don't respect you, And, every day she's being hit on. Go to the store, she's being hit on. She can't walk to the park, she's being hit on. And that's what they're going to go through. I hate to tell you. But that's, it's just what they're asking for when you do that. Yeah, he said the Pumpkin Joe get out of the game. Yeah. I hope he comes back. His channel's needed. We need more channels like that. We can't afford to lose a channel like that. What, and be replaced by these booty shows and these, what's the name of the dating game channels and all that. listen, guys, if you don't hear nothing else on this live stream today, okay, these channels, these Filipino channels, and I'm not knocking them, but they're never going to tell you the truth of what life is really like over here. It goes against their culture. You know, remember, you're not going to jump in the deep end of the water if you can't swim. So they're never going to tell you what's really going on over here. Okay? It's just not in them to do it. So you're going to get those type of, subjects and content that you get. So when people like Pumpkin Joe drop off the scene, if I drop off the scene, you're going to regret it because we're not being replaced with real channels. It's going to be that same stuff. If that's what you want to see, you're not going to learn any more from the channels than when the first day you're off the plane. I guarantee you that. You're not. They're not going to tell you anything that's going to help you. Or what's it like dating a Filipino single mother. Come on, man. Really? You're going to learn that when you get off the bus. Get off the plane. Ryan, the Eating Warrior, thanks for that super chat. He said, take your girls back to the U.S. only if you're okay with gambling the chance they move on up once they are able to. Yeah, that's a warning to every guy. Nobody's above that gamble. Absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. The main thing in this is when they get a chance, when they're able to. See, Marilyn hit me with that one. She said, you're not going to know if a Filipino loves you or not until they get what they want. Then you'll know. If she's where she wants to be and she stays with you, then it was real. But if it's not and she gets out of Dodge, then yeah, you know. So you're right, Ryan. You're not going to know. Remember, they're going to treat you the same way. That's why I say, what's love got to do with it? Okay, what's love got to do with it? Because she's gonna treat you the same way, whether she loves you or not. The Gramercy Riff, thanks for that super chat, said Tim K was going back and forth between the U.S. and Philippines, so it made sense for him, but there are risks to take them back. Yeah, you're right. He was going back and forth anyway, but you turn in your royal flush. His wife, she's an attractive young lady, and he's gonna have to be on the alert because he's gonna get older, and she's still gonna be younger. He may end up gaining more weight over there. And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter if she loves her or not. They're gonna come at her. They're gonna come at her, man. My wife, man, every day I got to come over there, and they just don't care. To the point where I was so happy when she got up that better job at General Electric. Working on temporary jobs, they don't have no protection for women, really. But when she got at General Electric, they had that union and and all that. Them guys knew their boundaries. It didn't mean they didn't try, though. But that's what you got to deal with. So, if I'm in a big age gap relationship, I wouldn't do it. You're really asking for trouble. Yeah, and it's going to be cringy, like he says. Everywhere you go, people are looking at you up and down, Not that you should care, but you're going to care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't iron your clothes in the morning. If you didn't care what people thought about you, you wouldn't brush your teeth. You wouldn't put on deodorant, but you do care. I learned that in sociology. So you can say, oh, well, I don't care what people. Yes, you do. You care to a certain extent. But yeah, the bigger the age gap, man, you're taking a chance over that. You see all these horror stories, man. Okay, the young lady down in Texas, the man kills her, right? He's 66-year-old American. She's a 24-year-old Filipina. They hadn't been married for about a year. She had been over there like a year. Nobody deserves this. But that lady was moving on, okay? And he killed her, put her in his freezer, and then killed himself. When you take them over there like that, it's going to be different. Now, you're going to change places. You're going to go from the most wanted to unwanted back in your country. She's going to go from unwanted to most wanted. And a lot of guys can't deal with that. Yeah, that's all you're going to get, man. I don't blame them. I mean, but I'm just telling you, when we let channels like Pumpkin Joe's go off the radar, you're going to pay for it eventually, man. Because YouTube is already getting to the point where, because I heard Tim K say that on one of his videos. He said, man, I had the worst month ever. See, but y'all think I just be on here talking. I'm telling you that something's going on with these channels over here in the Philippines. The algorithm is like turning a blind eye to these channels. They're like, hey, maybe we're paying too much money. We're giving too much attention over there. It's too much competition. If they watered it down, it's saturated. And we're paying a price for it. He said, yeah, I had the worst month I've ever had. And if you look at his numbers, you can see it. These people have 170, 200,000 subscribers. They getting 15,000 views, 20,000. When you would look on his channel would have 250,000, 80,000. Something's going on. So that's what's going to happen. And then you're going to be left with all of this. Then you guys are going to get off the plane and you're going to be lost. Nobody's going to talk about that kind of stuff anymore. Rand, the even one says, I learned that lesson once. Laughed my ass off. Damn, my damn battery's running low. Let me plug this in. He says, well, it is plugged in. I'm going to have to go on my phone. He says, I'm never bringing another Filipino over to the U.S., no matter how long our relationship is. Yeah, I'm going to have to go on my phone, everybody, because my battery's running down. Do me a favor, hon. Hand me that, the thing.
What the thing?
Yeah.
This?
Yeah. He says, I love to travel. Thanks for that super chat. He said, I'm running out of money in the Philippines. He said, running out of money in the Philippines are here in Cambodia. You can't find work or work. Yeah, what I would try to do, guys, is I would try to get me a remote job before I left. That's what I would do. That way, because there's a lot of people over here, those, what do they call them? Digital nomads. I met a young guy from, he was from England, man. He had a good job. Yeah, I'm ready to get on my
Wait, guys. Well, I had to. There's no choice. Sorry. Hold on. My battery on my laptop was going down. And I couldn't. Can y'all hear me? Okay, guess. Let me get rid of him. Okay. There you go. I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, he says, running out of money in the Philippines or here in Cambodia, you can't find work or work. Yeah. I would have a passive income. You cannot come here without a passive income. And I would get me a remote job. I've got a couple of guys I know. Is a gentleman. He's retired, but he has he's got a job. He's like a survey. He works for some survey company, and he's in Bahal. He's on the island of Bahal. He works from 10 at night to 6 in the morning. Then I met a guy here in San Carlos City the other day at the gym. He was there with his girlfriend. He works from 9 at night to 5 in the morning. So yeah, it sounds intriguing because a lot of people are doing it. Yeah, see, they've already played out with me, but I don't knock them because, they don't realize that if they just at least try to talk um, about something other than that, they may catch on. I mean, look at the Filipino P. She's the only one that really dared to, do something different, really, and how she blew up. But I don't know, what that's going to be like if she stays in America. I don't know if anybody wants to see that, but I don't know. Who knows? But I know that Pumpkin Joe's channel is an important channel, man. But we let it go because, he wasn't talking about that kind of stuff. He wasn't talking about dating and, and all that other stuff. He came over here, got married, basically to the first woman he met, had children, and settled down. That's too boring for a lot of us. A Payday One said women start chaos when you give them leverage, like pregnant, move them in, or marrying them. Just get a wonderful companion, no key to your door. Well, the one guy says, the guy David that came to my meet and greet, he said, Calvin, I followed your advice. And really it wasn't my advice. I told him, I said, I've never lived by myself over here. I just said you can still have a Filipino girlfriend without moving her in. Get her a place. It's so cheap over here, okay, that you can have your place and get her one. He got her a boarding house, which was a step up from where she was doing. He said TikTok is taking ad revenue from YouTube. Everyone's complaining about declining revenues. Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. But viewers is another thing. See, if you get more viewers, people aren't leaving TikTok. I mean, leaving YouTube, going and watching TikTok, really. But you're right. I was looking at a video and talking about the ad revenue is different. The algorithm changes. It right now it's just not favoring the Philippines like it was during the lockdown. I mean, really, it's tough, really, really tough for these new channels to hit on. I've seen channels over here, man, they have no views in 2 or 3 days. When it comes up, it'll show you how many views and how long it's been out. I've seen channels, man, with 0 views in 2 days. I'm like, wow, this algorithm is wicked. Used to be you just put Philippines in your thumbnail. Hell, that was good for 1,000. Now you got to come out with a Pulitzer Prize winning video. I do, or something controversial for me just to get 10,000. And I'm like, wow, man, this is really crazy. You can taste it. Okay, I'll taste it. This is pancit we're having. She wants me to try it. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I mean, really, okay. Imagine, okay, what? I got my Negro wake-up call. Now, if that would have been during the lockdown, I'd probably got 100,000 views on that. I got 17,000 on that. Telling, black people, making them aware that Filipinos still call you Negro over here. Not saying that there's anything, they have any bad intentions or anything. And I'd be damned Me and Marilyn were going to the gym, Maryland. And okay, here comes a tricycle comes beside us. And I'll be damned if the people don't call me a nigga in there. Hey nigga, they're happy about it though. It's like they don't mean anything bad. But y'all think I just be on here yapping. I'm just trying to tell you, man. And it was a teaching moment because I'm trying to tell Filipinos, hey, look, if you ever leave the country and you go to America, like Filipino P did, you don't want to use that name. Hell, you probably have better luck calling somebody a blackie over there. But yeah, just the other day in Maryland, she's, making up for them. I'm like, Maryland, it doesn't matter how they said it. And you don't say that word. Sam Cruz said, when you take her to the U.S., most Filipinos are financial illiterate. Once they start getting money, they spend it like there's no tomorrow. Very frustrating for the American men. Have you took your woman there before? Because not all Filipinos are like that. The smart ones, okay, like my son's mother, they'll build a house back here for their family. She worked 2 jobs to do that too, as a matter of fact. That's what most of the women do over there. You do get the sad stories, just like the majority of the relationships over here really are good. But you get the sad stories. I tell them because one sad story is enough, but for the most part, the only thing is we misjudge how bad they want to leave. We have no idea, just like they don't understand how bad we want to leave. So a Filipino on the dating site may be interested in you because she wants to go to America, but you have to make it clear to her that, hey, I'm leaving America, or there's going to be some problems. Me and my wife, we was in America for almost, let's see, they came in June of 2014. We left December of 2018. So like 4.5 years. But I had no idea that she really wanted to leave this place because she hasn't been back. She came back to get our son, and that would be one time in the last 3 years. I haven't seen her. I haven't seen my wife in over 3 years. So you have to make that clear. Look, I'm coming over here at least for a little while. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just hard. I can't deal with it. I don't. I know they don't mean harm bad, but man, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just sit there and smile with a smile on my face and wave back? You know, and because Marla said, well, we don't have another word for. Um, that's our word for black. I said, well, y'all need to get another word for black. I'm sorry. Okay. Because imagine, see, I don't know the bad term for a Filipino, and I'm glad I don't. I don't want to know it. The less I know, the better off I am. I don't want to know it. I would never use it. But there's no way because I asked, I told you about the incident I had in Cebu. I was like, okay, Filipinos are from the Philippines, Japanese are from Japan, Chinese are from China. Where are Negroes from? She said, Nigeria. And I knew then, I said, well, she doesn't really. No, this is long before. It doesn't matter though, guys. Y'all missing the point. It doesn't matter where they know it from. I don't use that word. It's not a good word. Okay? And just because you hear rappers use it doesn't make it okay, Mitch. I don't get it. But let's get on to something else. Let's go back to the topic where, I made the video the other day. I'm just talking about the whole point is you're going to get tired of paying for everything after a while. When the dust settles, okay, listen to me. Because when you first get over here, your hair is going to be on fire, your pants are going to be on fire. You'll pay for everything. You say, it's no problem. You put everybody on your shoulder. But 2 or 3 years later, you're going to be like, whoo, man, because you know Christmas is coming up. The birthday's coming up. Tuition's paying up. You know who's going to have to pay for it. So I say, we're legally being robbed over here. Oh, guys, just say no. Well, how's you going to work that into the situation? To just say no. The electric bill comes due. What I'm supposed to say? No? You know, this is what you signed up for. Okay? If you're under any delusion that somebody over here that you're meeting has money, that's a delusion. You know, only difference between a delusion and an illusion is a lie is nothing. They're all the same. Okay? Nobody has money. The family, the friends, they don't have anything. Okay, so you're paying for everything. You're signing up for that. And it's okay in the beginning, but after a while, they say, oh, just stand up and say no. You got to learn the way no. Okay, so what are you going to say no to over here? It's not like you're hit with a barrage of requests day in and day out. Then it would make sense to learn to say that no, right? And if you are getting hit with that barrage of requests, then it's time for you to leave, because that's not really the situation over here. So the only person you really need to say no to is yourself. We're the ones who we're the ones who spend the money. But it doesn't always have to deal with money either. Remember this, right? Because it's not always about finance. I don't want certain people over my house. See, that's the way I got to say no. I'm like, nah, all right, let's have a party over here for the kid. No. See, because I don't want to be around a lot of people, because I know it's going to take 2 or 3 days to clean it up. It's going to be very expensive. Okay, I don't want to go over certain people's houses. I don't want to go to certain places. I don't want to sing karaoke. So yeah, I say no that, but it's not every day. But some of you guys think, oh, that saying no all the time is the strategy over here. It's not. And that's how you're going to hold on to your money. The only way you're going to hold on to your money is don't come over here. That's the only way. But it's not a realistic strategy. It's not a good one. Nobody's going to want to be with you if you're going to say no all the time. Well, what happens when she says no? Remember, we're dealing with yes relationships over here. That's the only way they work. You got to say yes all the time. She has to say no all the time. It's when to say no that you have to learn. Because most of the time, you're going to be saying yes. Okay? But say no when they talk about borrowing. You may be, you may be, because a lot of guys, okay, the guy who was going to move into my apartment in Sikihor when I left, he was living for month to month, because I said, hey, I'm leaving on the 26th. We left. You can move in then. He's like, no, my pension doesn't come in to the first. And, you may be tapped out to 26th. And she said, well, let's borrow some money, or let's take some stuff to the pawn shop. And then that's when you say no. That's okay. We can hang on just for a little bit. I get paid the first. Okay. That. Hey, thanks to Gramercy Riff. He says, why not just get with women in Cebu Makati so they work to pay for their family and we take care of her? Well, that sounds good, but hell, what are they? Most of the time, are you a young man? Looks like you're young. Because most of the time, we're older over here. That's a young man's how he thinks. And because most of us, we don't want the woman to ever be away from us. So we tell her, you quit your job, spend time with me. I don't know of any. I'm trying to think. Let me think. Do I know of any expat over here whose wife still works? And he has to be broke because there was one, but he was from Germany. He ended up dying because he didn't have any money. So his wife, a girlfriend, she was working. She was a masseuse. She had her own little massage service. But I'm trying to think. Do I even know of any? I don't even think I know of any. If I do, wait. I don't think I know of any, Gramercy, where the woman is still working. We want her with us 24/7. So we make her quit a job. But it's not all just about finances. But most of the time it is. But just saying no all the time is not going to keep money in your pocket because you're going to be the one spending, really, because she doesn't have anything. Even if she's got a job and she's paying for her family, that's not going to keep money in your pocket. If you go to the resort, you got to pay too. If you go to Boracay, you got to pay for two round trip plane tickets. But sometimes it's like, well, no, I don't want to have a Christmas party over here this year. That's what I told Marilyn. We didn't. That's why we accepted that invitation to stay with friends because I didn't want it because we did it the year before. There's a bunch of people over here. I'm out of a lot of money. It takes 2 or 3 days to clean up and everything like that. So you have to say no like that. But as far as saving money, no woman's going to be with you over here if you don't want to spend any money. You can't make it as a cheap Charlie over here. That's the reason they're with you. And then you're the reason. What if she closes her legs and say, no, I don't want to have sex with you anymore? What are you going to do then? You're going to leave probably. Same thing she's going to do if you run out of money. But you can't convince men of this. And we talk about this all the time, 7 days a week, twice on Sunday, and they don't believe it. They think they're special. Oh, my woman's different. They're not. You're 73 years old. Your woman is 23. If you run out of money, she's leaving you for somebody else. Okay? And then if they run out of money, she's going to be with somebody else. So, that's enough for you to tell yourself, no, I don't need to go out here and spend all that money then, on a house and lot. If I know if I run out, she's going to leave. See, this is what I suggested to people. This is the first mistake I ever made because the first woman that I ever really got serious with was my son's mother. And she had a job, but I felt sorry for her. Okay? She was working 12 to 14 hours every single day. I felt sorry for her, right? Not realizing that she didn't know how to manage her time. She was used to being at work. She didn't mind that. She had gotten used to it. It gave her life some type of meaning, some type of purpose. But I was going to come in and save her. And then I became her work. And she was on me like white on rice, man, and eventually destroyed our relationship. Okay. What time is it, Travis? A great topic, Cal. I'm in Baguio, and I want to come to Dumaguete and possibly St. Carlos. My girlfriend wants to come and bring her sister. That's 2 miles I have to feed and see about. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You're going to have, see, that's one thing you're going to have to say. It's not always about money. It's like, look, I don't want her to be with us. Wait till we leave Dumaguete. Then if you want to go back to the province to see your family, we can. But you're gonna have to say no but more than likely you're not. You're gonna say yes, and the sister's gonna come along, and you're gonna be at the table, and they're gonna be talking about you at the table because you can't understand Visayan or whatever it is. King Arthur says she closes her legs, asks her if she has a toothache. Well, no. No means no. Because we think we're the only ones can say no over here. But knowing when to say no, that's the best strategy. That's the one you have to learn. That's the one where you set your limits and boundaries. You know, okay, my sister, they lost their place over there. Can they move in? It's either yes or no. But that'll be something you would have to say no. It has nothing to do with money, really. Yeah, yeah. This is one place you don't want to be a cheap Charlie because they think you got money to begin with, and it's going to take some of your bargaining power away. Let's be honest, guys. If these women wasn't giving it up the way that they do, you wouldn't be over here. And it's the same way they look at you. If you don't have the money, if you're not willing to be generous with it, we don't want to be bothered with you. Why would a 30-year-old woman want to deal with an 80-year-old man if it has something to do with money? And say, oh, well, that's with any. No. I mean, come on. Don't be stupid. You know what that's all about. Well, yeah. I mean, but we feel sorry for them, Frank. See, that's where we get in trouble. Especially Americans. Why do you think they marry Americans so much more than they do everybody else? It's more than just because they feel like they have some type of relationship with us, because we sympathize with them more than anybody else. Hell, we raised $13 million for George Floyd's family. I didn't even know George Floyd. I feel bad for him, but damn. Give me some of that $13 million. That's just how Americans are. We raised $13 million for him, another $6 to $8 million for his sister before they cut that GoFundMe off. That's how Americans are. We're sympathetic. We're compassionate like that. And they know that. So they don't have to ask you for anything. Hey, Ronald, what's going on? Yeah, I've got about 10 more minutes and I'm going to be off of here. But don't wait until you're broke before saying no. See, we don't learn a lesson over here. Q Adventures, go on his channel. He's got a couple of good videos on men over here struggling. One guy, I guess he's 90 years old. He looks 90. He's in bad shape. No, I think they're letting, because Filipinos, they have compassion too. They're letting him stay with them, but hell, he's skin and bones. It looks like he hasn't eaten in a long time. So I think he's trying to help him. Then there's another guy that lives up the street from him. Same thing. Another foreigner in bad shape, living abroad. He's got a guy he got a series on, a couple of videos where this guy's living on the street in either Dumaguete or Cebu. I mean, actually living on the street, sleeping on a damn cardboard on the ground. But do you see, here's what I want you to answer this question. Do you see the Filipino vloggers going there helping them? No, they're not going to do it because they don't feel it's their responsibility. Okay? It's our responsibility. It's going to be the same way that woman you spending all that money with. If you go broke, it's not going to be, she's going to feel like it's not her responsibility to get you back home. It's going to be our responsibility to do it. But it doesn't matter how many times it happens to people, we're going to think we're the exception to the rule. It can never happen to us. It's always going to happen to the other guy. I used to think the same way growing up. Their brothers and people used to die in their family. I was like, oh man, I'm glad it never happened to me. Then my brother gets killed. And I'm sitting there at the funeral looking down at his body, just shell shocked. Because eventually it's going to happen to you. Something's going to happen. You see the guy, what was his name? Was it William Davis on her? He said, you got to go back home. He had a medical condition over here, wiped him out. He's got to go back to the United States. But we don't prepare for it. He said, right over to the U.S. Embassy, turn in my passport. I get a ticket home. Won't happen, but it's there. Yeah, but they don't do it the same day, Anthony Thomas. Don't put that information out there. Yeah, that'll happen, but that's a process. It takes a while. It takes 3 weeks to a month, maybe. But Philippines, they do help you if they have it. But that's the problem. A lot of times they don't have it. I was helped one time, okay, when my son was born down in Zamboanga. He was in the hospital for 18 days, 16 days in the incubator. The bill was like 300,000 or 350,000, whatever it was. I was 50,000 short. Don't you know a Filipino man gave me that 50,000? I was shocked, man. I couldn't believe it. Of course, I paid him back, but I'm saying he didn't say, "Here, I'm loaning you the money." He said, "Here's 50." He said, "I got 50,000. Get your son and your wife out of the hospital." He said, "Because every day the bill keeps going up," and it does. And they did not let my son out of the hospital. They did not take the IVs and all that stuff out until that bill was paid. But you guys over here, I mean, y'all just throwing money away, buying these big fancy SUVs, these big houses and lots, like you got money forever, man. It's not that cheap over here, okay? But you know, to be perfectly honest, Filipinos are low maintenance, man. They don't want a whole lot. They basically want the basics. It's us that do that to ourselves. They're very low maintenance, man. I promise you right now. Maryland lives good. The last time she bought anything new from the mall, I made her buy a pair of Lee jeans. It was about $40. I want to say we were in Cebu because they look so good on her. And she probably still guilty about that now. You know, Maryland still gets her clothes at the Okai Okai place. Everything she's got comes from the Okai Okai. You see Marilyn at the gym working out, it's from the Okai Okai. It wasn't something I bought at some fancy mall. They're low maintenance, guys. We're the ones who do that to them. And then we try to blame it on them. We're the ones who hand over our money freely to them. So when you talk about saying no, it's saying no to yourself. It's not saying no to her because she knows the unspoken agreement is firmly in place. You know, that quid pro quo that I was talking about that y'all push back on. You know, if you do this, I'm going to do this. Or if I do this, I'm expecting that. That's firmly in place here. Okay. It's just so out in the open here. You can't deny it here over in America. You say, oh, you know, my wife's got a good job and, you know, and this and that. No, you can't deny it here. No way an 80-year-old man is going to be with a 30-year-old woman. And no money's involved. Okay. Because the struggle over here, and I'm not putting anybody down. I try to tell y'all what you thought, what you're stepping into. Most of you guys have never been over here. You're making a trip to come here. You're looking at these other videos and you're chatting with the woman online, but you really have no idea what life is really like over here. The struggle is real. It's right in your face. It's really, really hard. You don't know she loves you until you know. Until she gets a place where she don't need you anymore. Then you're going to find out up until then it's all a gamble. It's all a crapshoot. Because she's going to say and do anything to make, you know, to keep you in place over here. Okay? That's why when you watch them Filipino videos, man, they're going to say whatever they want to get your butt over here. About how nice women are over here and all of that, right? Until you get over here and you see that you run out of money. Have they ever did a video on that? Tell your favorite Filipino vlogger to do that. Say, hey, why don't you do a video on what happens to men when they run out of money over here? They're never going to do it. They're never going to tell you the truth. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. Yeah, 40 US for Lee jeans. Yeah. If you go, listen, I mean, have y'all been watching the videos? It's cheap over here, but it's not. It's cheaper over here, but it's not cheap. They've got Jordans, okay? Remember where I told you I went to the Nike outlet in Bacala? They got Jordans over here, real Jordans. 10,000, 15,000 pesos. If you got that kind of money to pay for it. Yeah, but see, that's the whole point. She's not the problem, payday one. You are. You're the problem because you're the one spending. You got to learn to say no to yourself. It's not about being a cheap Charlie because I'm not going to be around a cheap Charlie over here, and neither does the lady. She certainly ain't going to be around you. She's going to get somebody else. They don't want to be around somebody. Imagine, okay, I'm a 30-year-old, I'm a 27-year-old attractive Filipina in the prime of my life. And here's some overweight foreigner, 71 years old, got that old man smell, going on, everything's wrong with you. You're 71. But I'm supposed to just be with you because you're 71? No. You're going to do something for me. You're going to make my life better. For me to have to deal with you and wash you off and do everything for you, push you around and lead you around. And I've got to endure the stares in public and all that. No, you got to pay for that. Okay, don't ever get it twisted that the reason these women are dealing with us, 99% of us, is because they think we've got money. Okay? It's a transactional thing going on here. It's not for your good looks and intelligence. So thank y'all so much for your super chats, your super stickers. But remember, I'm talking to men, and you'll never get it. It's like talking to a brick wall. It's like talking to a brick wall. The guy was in Cebu. Luckily, Lapu-Lapu, he didn't even make it out of the damn airport. Found out the woman had run off with the money. There was no woman he was talking to online. Giving everything. He didn't even have money to go home. Listening to y'all and these old throwaway tickets and all that. The mayor of Lapu-Lapu showed some compassion. Because they showed him in the hospital. I'm like, well, what the hell is he doing in the hospital? He probably fainted. He probably had a damn anxiety attack or something. Gave all that money, and then he gets here and finds out that it was all a show. It's going to keep happening because you're thinking it can't happen to me. But it can. It's probably already happened. Y'all come over here. I see it. It's none of my business to say anything really. Other than what I say on my live streams and my vlogs. But once you get over here, I'm not jumping in the middle of there and dealing with any of that. Because I see it, man. Y'all put it all in that basket, and I'm like, dude, man, you don't even know who you're dealing with. But thank y'all so much for your super chats, your super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support, man, for Sunshine Shows. I never take that for granted. I really wouldn't, we need to go and check out some of Pumpkin Joe Philippine Experience videos. Just go on there. He's got a bunch of them. If you don't like them, keep going. But there's something on there you're going to like. It's the same stuff y'all want me to talk about, but I'm different. But his channel is very important. I don't get anything out of it for that. I'm telling you, you're going to regret letting channels like his disappear because they're not going to show that kind of stuff to you. That's the real Philippines, where they're cooking with the coconut shells, and he's all over the place. He's showing hotels. He's always in the province type living. If anybody's dealing with that, y'all gonna get enough of letting these channels, you exchanging these channels for some woman sitting there with the thing. Well, how old were you when you came to the Philippines? Do you got a woman there? What are you doing at home? Just like, lady, shut up. You You're not teaching us nothing. But Eric Powell, thanks for that super chat. He said, you have to reiterate that if you're not winning in the States, you're probably not going to win in the Philippines. But that's not true. Because you can, but if you're weak over there, you're going to be weak over here. You can win over here. And a lot of us do win. Even if we can't win over there. Because the circumstances are different, Eric. But what happens is if you're weak over there, you're going to be weak over here. If you're laying down for women over there, you're going to lay down for women over here. If you're going to praise them and put them on a pedestal there, you're going to do the same things over here. It's nothing going to change. Now, what's going to change is you're probably going to have a nicer looking woman, who's going to give you the benefit of doubt. The fact that you got that pension is going to open up doors that were closed to you at home. So, yeah, you can win over here, even when you can't win at home. But you're not going to win because you're in your own way. You're your own problem. You don't want to take suggestions. So take care, everybody. I'll see y'all next time. I was going to play my theme song, but my damn computer, the battery ran down.